Well, happy Wednesday, April 1st and our 13th day of stay-at-home instruction. I just want to make a note based on what I've seen from the news. It's been said that California and Washington State are both doing really good jobs with trying to stay at home and keep the transmission of the disease down. So way to go, Californians, keep it up. And as a note to moms, I want to remind you that I still have this list of YouTube videos. You really should be going through the alphabet letter songs and the months of the year and days of the week. Really keep those up because those are so important for the preschoolers, not just for routine, but also for the content inside of the songs. We really want to encourage matching the sounds and the names of the letters to each letter. So crucial for kindergarten. So please make sure you are still doing this. I still highly recommend Cosmic Kids Yoga. It's good for all ages, including moms. I still really like Storyline Online, great. And if you haven't been keeping up with Mo Willems, you probably should check back in with him, see how his videos are going. I know my neighborhood kids have been enjoying them too. So go back and really get into the websites that I've suggested or the songs I've suggested. Let's keep up consistency as much as we can. All right, so today we're going to be doing the letter M, just like we've been doing for the last couple of days. Let's get some practice going. All right, we've been working on our capitals and our lowercase m's. Remember, they make the mmm sound. The sound you make when mom makes your favorite meal. Mmm. So we're going to start, and for our capital M's, go straight down. Lift our pencil or pen. Diagonal, diagonal, straight down. Let's see if you guys can do a whole line of M's, making sure that they're not too squished and they're not too far apart. Oh my goodness, I shouldn't use either one of those. Those are really not my best M's. There we go. So down, straight down, lift your pen, diagonal, diagonal, and down. We also do not want our M's to be hanging in the air somewhere. When you're learning how to make them, make sure you do them exactly the way you've been taught. Now, you'll notice that moms and dads have different ways of making their letters. Sometimes they don't go all the way down like we learn in school. And that will change as you become a little older. But when we're learning, we want you to go down each step. Straight down, lift your pen or pencil, diagonal to the bottom, diagonal, and straight down. Once again, have someone in your family circle what they think is best. I think I'll have my son circle mine today. He's looking at all of them. You know, that's the one I was going to choose. I think he made a good choice there. So I'm going to squish that away so I can work on my lowercase m's. Let's see. I think I'll do my lowercase m's in red this time. And we start at the halfway point. We go down, up like we're making an N, up like we're making another N, and that's our M. Down like you're diving, straight down. Like you're diving, straight down. I like my lowercase m's. I think those are fun to do. Down, up like you're diving, down. Up like you're diving, down. Although, wouldn't it be silly if I forgot and I just kept going? Oh no, that's definitely not an M. Maybe I should erase some of those. I know, I'll erase what's in the middle. Hey, I made an M and, uh-oh. I'll erase that one too. There we go. I made two M's. I kind of got them stuck in there. I'll have my son circle what he thinks is best this time. Which is my best M? Okay, that's a good one. All right, so after we do writing with the M's, I went out, Target had it, and I couldn't resist because it was my favorite color. So I went out and got some regular Play-Doh. If you don't have some regular Play-Doh, you can still use your edible Play-Doh. You can use your salt dough from earlier this week. But we are going to make the letter M. So in order to do that, I'm going to roll out a nice long snake because I have a long letter. The capital M really has a lot to it. So I want to make sure I have enough to do my whole capital M and my lowercase m. So I better keep rolling. I don't think I'm ready yet. Now, I'm going to take one piece and make it my first stroke for my capital M. Remember, we go straight down, then we lift our pencil. So this is my first one. And now I'm going to go diagonal, diagonal, and straight down all together. There's my capital M. I'll make that really pointed right there. I don't know if I have enough for my lowercase m, so I may have to make my Play-Doh a little skinnier. That's okay. And with this one, you go straight down, then you go back up, around and down, back up, around, and uh-oh, I ran out. I know, I'll just make my snake a little skinnier. That's okay, I got this. So I'm gonna go down, back up, around and down, back up, around and down. I did it this time. So I followed just the way we've been learning. And I followed just the way we've been learning here too. So make your Play-Doh M's and then make something fun with the Play-Doh. That's it for M's. Well, it's time for our letter today, and I figured today we would write to someone at your school who's not your teacher. I know you've seen this person a lot at school because they always seem to be in every classroom walking around and checking on people. Today we're going to write to your principal. Dear Principal, my name is, now remember, your principal has lots of kids at the school and they may not remember everyone's name, so remind them. My name is, I would say Miss Mary, you're going to say your own. I am in this person's class. By that I mean you're going to say, I am in Miss Doe's class, I am in Miss Avila Perez's class, I am in Mrs. Dominguez's class, I am in Mrs. Flanagan's class. Whose ever class you're in, I am in Miss O's class. You're going to write down the name of your teacher here to kind of help remind your principal who you are, since there are so many kids at school. I miss you. How are you? I ask that a lot in all of our letters because I think it's polite to ask people how they're feeling. What are you doing at home? Remember, you probably should answer your questions too. So I'm going to tell the principal what I'm doing. I am helping my family and playing, I say this a lot too, video games. Let's be honest, we all know we've had plenty of time to do that lately. I can't wait to see you again at school. And then I'm going to leave it at that. And remember, we always end it with love, L-O-V-E, and our name, Adam. So now I'm going to draw a picture. Let's see. I think I will give them a big smiley face to the principals. Okay, so I got my big smiley face going. I'm even going to use my pen here for the eyeballs. I gave a pink smiley face, so I don't think this is too realistic. So I think it would be cool if I made rainbow colored hair coming out of this person. Weird different shapes of hair. Let's see. Oh, this is getting kind of silly, but that's good. Principals like silly. At least I think they do. Let's see. Let's put big floppy hair here. Wow, this is getting really silly. I think we need some green hair coming down here and maybe some coming down the back. All right. I think I can put in one more color. We'll have some bright pink coming out here, out of there. Okay. Definitely a silly picture of me I think any principal would love to get this. Moms and dads, big brothers and sisters, if you cannot remember the name of your principal, you can go to the school website, and not only will they have the name of the principal, but if you look hard enough, you'll find their email address too. Take a picture, send it as an email, or send it as an email to the principals. Really, I think they miss the kids as much as the teachers do, and they would love to get a letter from their students. So definitely an activity you can do with the older kids as well. And I hope everyone does this. That's it for the letter. This is a story that I'm sure, reasonably sure, none of you have ever heard before. This was written by a couple teachers in New Orleans, Louisiana. And when my son and I were there and we were on vacation, we found this book. Now, beignets are really powdery, yummy donuts, and my son loved beignets. So do I. So we bought the book because it's about beignets. This is called The Beignet That Almost Got Away by Joanne Mertens and Pat Rugg, illustrated by Joanne Mertens. And I'm sure I'm saying their names wrong. I apologize. Down in Louisiana, in the city that care forgot, lived two little cockroaches that loved food a lot. This is a really cool map of Louisiana, the state that has New Orleans in it. New Orleans is a city known for fine cuisine, but for Ralph and Roxanne, times were really lean. Their home was on a balcony overlooking the French Quarter. Each day the smells from the restaurants below made their mouths water. If you look really carefully, you can see Ralph and Roxanne. They're two little itty-bitty cockroaches, and they live in a building, and they all downstairs are restaurants. So they smell the food and they're hungry. One smell in particular made their stomachs respond, the scent of crispy beignets from Café du Monde. Café du Monde is a restaurant right here, and this is really how it looks with the green and white awnings. Amidst the clatter of cups and the shuffle of feet, these intrepid insects were beckoned by the powdered sugar. So sweet. You can see the smell coming off the beignets. And there on a plate, crispy and steamy it lay, the object of their craving, one lone beignet. Oh, yummy. Ralph and Roxanne each gave each other looks of fierce determination. This beignet would be theirs if they formed a collaboration. Wow, those are some big words. Fierce determination means that they are not going to quit. And if they form a collaboration, means that they think they can get the beignets if they work together as a group. Just as they reached the point of their desire, a hand came down and raised the beignet higher. Oh no, here comes the hand. Oh, they almost had it. In a paper sack, the sweet snack resided. Don't let that beignet get away, screamed Roxanne, excited. They kept that bag in their sights as it headed to the river. The music from the Natchez steamboat made their antenna quiver. This is actually a boat that's really close to Café du Monde, and you can get onto it and have dinner parties, and it's really pretty. It does play some good music. Some of the music even comes out of the top of the ship. It's amazing. As the sound of the calliope faded, Roxanne was heard to say, "Don't let that beignet get away!" Suddenly the bag took a turn to Jackson Square, a place where art abounds and music fills the air. When it says music fills the air, there's a lot of musicians that play there in the square and just outdoor music. It's really fun to watch. But to the dismay of Ralph and Roxanne, a horror they did see, the pigeons were being fed their beignet for free. Don't let that beignet get away! The clip-clop of hooves and the rolling of wooden wheels led the bag to a horse-drawn carriage as Roxanne let out a squeal. You know what she's going to say. Don't let that beignet get away! As Ralph and Roxanne followed the bag into Jackson Square, they stopped by a crowd watching a mime perform there. A mime is a clown who never says a word. It's pretty cool. Ralph and Roxanne stared at the bag with trepidation as the hand set it aside to reach for a balloon creation. Here's another really big word. trepidation. That means a mixture of excitement and fear. So they're afraid, but they're excited they might get it. Ralph and Roxanne exchanged looks of jubilation. The beignet was theirs. Now they'll feast with exultation. Wow, we got some big words in this story. When they exchanged looks of jubilation, that means they were so happy they could almost burst. And when they say that they will now feast with exultation, that means they're going to eat. And while they're eating, it's just going to be sweeter and better because they worked so hard to get it. And it looks like they get to go home with the little girl while they eat the beignet. So the beignet did not get away. It's April 1st, which means we have a new number. This is the number 8. So let me put my happy face up here, and we're going to start the 8. Now it is really important to know where the halfway line is for 8, because when you're making the number, you're going to go around to the left, around to the right, and you're going to make that cross at the halfway point. Then you're going to make another and connect the circle, cross over and connect the circle. So you're going to have 2 circles, but you cannot do it like this. I know it's tempting, but if you want to be able to write quickly and neatly and clearly, you're going to want to follow the way I just did it before, which is around, around, back to the middle, back to the top. Let's try that again. Around, that looks like the letter C. Around, oh, that looks like a backwards letter C. Back to the middle, back to the top. Let's try that one more time. Around, I never lift my pencil, around, back to the middle, back to the top. You don't want to make them too skinny, because then it gets really hard to see. And you don't want them hanging in the middle of the air. You want to make sure that when you make your 8 and you go around and around, you go all the way to the bottom, back to the middle, and back to the top. Make your 8s kind of look like a snowman. With my smiley face there, it definitely looks like a snowman. I'll even put some arms in there. And a little hat on him. Kind of made a snowman out of my 8. Hey, that might be a good picture if I do pictures of numbers later on. All right, so give your 8s a try. At least do 2 lines of 8s on a paper, going very carefully to go around, around, back to the middle, back to the top. And you want to make sure that when you're doing it, you don't make the top super big and the bottom super small, because that just looks funky. We don't want that. I'm going to have to cross that one out. And make sure you don't make the top really small and the bottom really big, because that looks just as weird. You want to try and make your 2 circles pretty equal. Around, around, back to the middle, back to the top. So at least 2 lines of 8s today, ladies and gentlemen. And then we're also going to write it as a tally. Ooh, we get to do a tally. So I'm going to write my number 8 at the top so I can remember. And today I think I'll do what we normally do in class, and that's use that apple tree that has lots and lots of apples. And remember, we can keep pulling them off, and the teacher has us drag the apples down till we fill out the tally. Make sure you fill out the top first and then go down to the second set of lines. So I'm going to take 1 apple, and there's my apple. Take another apple out of that tree, color it in. There's my apple. Take another apple out of my tree. And remember, they just keep getting more. I always get a kick out of that when I pull an apple and I think I'm done. And there's another apple there. It's like magic. Okay, I got to keep going because I don't think I've reached 8 yet. I mean, I have a lot, but I don't think it's 8 yet. But maybe after this one, I should count and check. If you're not sure, you should stop what you're doing and check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I definitely have more to do. So let me make another apple here. That's kind of a little apple. Okay, let me make another apple here. And I think I'm done, but I better check, because I can kind of hear you guys saying, no, no, through the camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, well, no wonder you guys were yelling no. I needed one more. I'll color that in. And just to make sure I have it right, I better count one last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's our tally for the day. All right, well, now that we've done our language and our math, it's time to do something a little more fun. Although, personally, I think writing the number 8 is pretty fun. We're going to be doing some milk painting today. To do milk painting, you're going to need milk. You're going to need a tray for the milk to sit in that's big enough for you to dip some paper in as well. Some different colors of food coloring. Some dishwashing soap, I have just a little, and some Q-tips. I cut some regular paper in half because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting these small pieces of paper in here, in the milk, in the food coloring, in the dishwashing soap, in everything that I told you about. So you want to make sure they're small enough to fit in. Now, parents also let you know that when these come out of the painting, they're really super wet and you're not going to want to leave them on the counter because the food coloring is going to be on the paper and it will bleed into your counter. Never fun. So already have a place where as soon as the kids finish dipping the paper in the milk, as soon as they finish doing this, already have a place where you can take it to dry. I'm just going to leave mine in the backyard. So if you see me rush out of the camera for a moment, I'm taking a few steps outside. I'm putting this down on the ground in the sunshine. It should be dry in a few minutes. So since we are dealing with food, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's not much and it is art, but we're still dealing with the milk. We should wash our hands before we begin. And let's see, today I will do, I think I'll just count to 20. I think that's a good one. I haven't done that one in a while. So I'm going to turn my water on, get my hands wet, get lots of hand soap, and start my counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Probably shouldn't have left the water running the whole time, but I did. I'll just turn it off now. So now my hands are really super clean. I am ready to begin. Moms and dads, you may have to pour in the milk at first because it's really heavy. I don't want kids knocking it down. But when you pour the milk, you don't need a lot. I know milk is really hard to get right now in some places, so I don't want to use a lot. I just want to use enough to cover the pan a little bit. Make sure I get all the corners. There we go. I got my pan covered. I can still see corners of the pan, so I might add a little bit more, but that's more than enough. You can see I really didn't take a lot of milk. This next part is definitely for the kids. I need you guys to pick up some food coloring, and this might get messy. The food coloring might get on your hands, but it'll come off with more soap and water. And I need you to just put a dot, of different food colors in the milk. Well, let me try some yellow, a dot, now a dot. Now I'm using some in these bottles. These are the bright, bold, heavy-duty food coloring, and they might even be a little bit too heavy for this project. If you have these, they're really the best ones. And I know food stores haven't really had a run on food coloring, so if you're running to the store, ooh, that's way too much. But if you're running to the store, you should be able to pick up some food coloring. Okay, I think I'm good there. Now, you're going to take your Q-tips, and this is just like what we did before when we did the pepper in the water to show how germs will go away from soap. Well, today our germs, so to speak, are the food coloring. So I'm going to take and dip my Q-tip into the dishwashing soap, and I'm going to drop it into the milk. Now you can see that when I do this, my food coloring starts to go all over the place and it starts to swirl. Now to help this out, I'm going to take a dry Q-tip and swirl some of my food coloring through the milk. but the dishwashing soap really should make most of it go. When you have a pattern that you like, or if you want to add a little bit more, I think I'll add some more yellow and some more, there we go. When you have a pattern that you like, you're going to take a piece of paper, and friends, do not push it down. Just lightly lay it down on top of the milk. I'm going to let it sit there for a moment, and when I pull it up, you'll see that the design has transferred to my paper. Now I'm going to run this outside, and I'm already back because I have a nice spot. And let's see, I see some green over here that I like, so I'm going to put my paper right on top of the green, maybe tap my fingers on it a little bit. Okay, I'm going to lift this one up, see how this one turned out. Ooh, I like the way that's swirling. I'm going to let that outside to dry. And you can do this with all of your papers that you have cut. I think this is a good one off to the side. Tap down on it a little bit. Ooh, that one turned out pretty. And you can see all my pictures out there drying in the sunlight. I think I'll add another one to it right now. Once you get started, this goes pretty quick. Now the original assignment was supposed to be done with watercolor paper, and I know with watercolor paper, they'll definitely soak up more. So if you have watercolor paper at home, you can use it. Really, it's just a fun and interesting way to do some painting with kids that they don't normally do. So have fun with it. Now, these are the perfect size papers that later when the paper dries, I'm going to put an oval on it and cut out the ovals. Great Easter egg decorations. Easter's coming up, so you may want to use these for Easter decorations. That's it keep going. That's it for the art. I wanted to take a moment to tell you our website for the day. Not super educational, but not everything has to be educational. This was a place where I found some really good games. It's called funbrain.com. Now remember, if you want to contact me with any of those letter M words that you've been hunting for all week, you can always send your list of your M words to dddisney2@yahoo.com. I'd love to hear from you guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.